Hi everyone, and welcome to the Power Prophet Tarot. I'm the Power Prophet and I'm here today. This is the reading for April 16th for Tuesday, tomorrow, a universal power reading. Now before I get into the readings, I usually do my own sort of prayer, meditation, speaking, claiming, to ensure that I can connect with the higher spirit in order to send a message to a universal audience. And you have to excuse all the noises today. The wind is blowing like crazy outside. They're working next door on a building or something, drilling, and my door was knocking, but now I put something in it to stop it from knocking. So the conditions are not ideal today, but that's okay. It gives it a little flair, a little color, a little, a little what's going to happen next. Well, thank you so much for coming. And what I did was I did a pre-shuffle with the Shaman Oracle deck. The Shaman Oracle. Mystical Shaman Oracle. Just to get a sense of what's going on. And you had the first card come up. Oh, let me first say thank you for tuning in. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. This is a new channel. I'm trying to grow it, and I'm just trying to be as real as possible in my intentions and in what I do. And in my tarot card readings, I use the Manzel B deck. Again, he's from Amityville, New York, for those of you who know the Amityville reference. I use ancient Egyptian tarot cards to get more personal about issues. And then of course I have my Shaman deck. And as usual, I left my Anubis deck in my bedroom, and I need to bring that out because I'm going to use that as a closing oracle for our reading. So I hope you can hear me. I hope I'm talking loud enough. Now, like I said, I did a pre-shuffle of the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And the first thing that came up was an upside down, the journey. You see the journey? It's upside down. It's upside down, and for some reason looks quite sad. This individual looks sad about the journey. Like he's trying to hold on to the journey, thinking that it's the destination that is the key, but it's really who you become when you reach the destination. But he looks very sad over this fact. And you have to remember, life is a journey, right? So if you're feeling sad because you don't know the destination of where you're going, then you're missing all the good stuff in between. And then you're missing who you are transforming to when you reach that destination. Next we have the Mystical Shaman, upside down. The Mystical Shaman wants you to take a look at your actions. Take a look at what you're doing. Upside down, he wants you to take a reevaluation of the things that you're aspiring to, the things that you're hoping for, the things that you are dreaming about. Right? So where you have this journey and it's not really happening the way you want it to happen, and furthermore, it might not even need to happen while you're having some consternation about this journey, the shaman is telling you, don't get so caught up in the dogma. Don't get so caught up in the likes and the wants of the world, right? Everything here is results focused. I was doing a resume the other day and I was looking at examples. People were saying 28%, 25% success rate and grant getting and $10 billion in fundraising. I was like, okay. But that's information people want to know so they can hire you, right? So it is results, outcome oriented. And we forget about the journey, and we get so caught up into the main pattern of how things are supposed to be, we don't reflect on our own wants, our own dreams, our own desires. And the mystic shaman is telling us, the mystical shaman is telling us to get back to ourselves, to understand more about who we are and what our wants and desires are. The next card that came up was the Earth card, which is good, and it was right side up. So the Earth card signifies a time of bringing together of the diverse hues, a time of sitting down and rooting yourself in reality. Reality. What is the reality? Is the reality what you see? Are you sure? Maybe you need to take a walk in the park to get a better idea about what reality is, what the earth is about, what the earth can give you. Why being grounded with your feet on the earth, with your body acknowledging that we're all part of every single last thing in this world? Why would we need to do that? Because of the isolation that we feel. We could be in a crowd of people and still feel isolation. But you don't feel isolated when you come to know yourself. So the Earth card is asking us to take a step back, put our feet on the ground, and figure out where we're going and what we're doing. And this makes sense with the Journey card upside down. Lost opportunity, opportunity you didn't need. Thinking about the destination only and not thinking about who you will blossom into once you reach that destination. Then we have the mystical shaman telling us to take a beat, take a step, think about what we're thinking about. Think about what we're thinking about. And can we make some kind of conclusions about what we're thinking about? About ourselves, about our lives, about our partners, about our jobs, about our neighbors, about our community, about our society, about our world? Why would we even care about all that? Because we are connected. Each and every one of us. You know, our bodies are made up of molecules and atoms. They're moving so fast they feel hard, right? But there is space between these molecules and atoms. Space, air, which means that the air from the outside is integrating with the air that is in, or that is moving around, or allowing my molecules and atoms to move around. So if you extend that metaphor to other people, when you meet them, you are attached to them. Your bodies are actually sharing the same energy plane via the energy that is located in the in this air, this connective air connective tissue, right? You have to think about those connections and take a moment to understand how they impact us or how they don't, and what we want in our lives. And then we have the witness. So, this is what needs to be shed. The idea about getting to the destination and not thinking about the journey nor who you will become. This is what you need to shed. Thoughts all over the place. Not being clear-headed. Not understanding the power that you have. So you have to die to yourself to be reborn again. And the wisdom we need to do that is right here on earth. This is the wisdom. What do we need to do this? How can we do this? By being rooted in the earth and making connections with people and feeling a part of things. And that comes with self-healing, self-growth. But we need to feel a part. We cannot feel isolated. Unless, of course, you're a Pisces and you are very particular about your personal space. I'm a Pisces. And then we have the possible destination. You have a witness for foundation, for stability, for the journey, for new thinking. Your destiny is really a new you, or a better you, or a more effective you, or just a little better you. There's no quantity of how better somebody has to be. But be a witness to yourself and to what you're doing. Just like that upside down journey card. Be a witness to yourself and what you're doing. You're on a journey, but where's your thought process? Where are you putting your energies? So it's not about don't take the journey. It's about change how you view the journey, how you witness the journey. What is your testimony going to be? Now, that was the oracle reading. That sort of brought the idea about not thinking clearly about what we're doing, not understanding that life is a process, that life is a journey, understanding that while the destination is important, there are still so many other things to consider. Like, what if I get what I really, really want? What if I get it? You know? And then I think sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves because we're not sure what's going to happen to us, and it takes us out of our comfort zone. So these oracle cards are letting us know that we need to get with our thinking, our thoughts. We need to connect with others. And we need to be a witness to our own journey. So shed conformist thinking and die to deafness to your own thought patterns. Ooh. That was interesting. Okay, that was the Shaman Oracle deck, which I'm going to put away. And now I'm going to go and do a proper tarot card reading. I did shuffle them, but if any of you were looking at yesterday's or the video for the 15th, you would know that the universe was really trying to tell me something. And as I thought about what happened for the 15th reading, I believe I should have took those cards out. But I was so embarrassed by the fact that it was occurring. I detached from the one for a second. But I bet you today, I'm not going to have the same problem. Now, I'm asking these cards, I'm praying for these cards to give me a universal message. I call on the gods and goddesses of Egypt. I call on all the deities, the divine creator, Jehovah, Yahweh, the Alpha and the Omega. I call on all the angels and the ancestors and spirits that help me and that have groomed me for this particular vocation. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for everything that I have. And I ask that my gratitude be rewarded with sight, with listening as I read these cards. I'm going to cut them. Let's see some Manzel B deck. Okay, I took out 4 cards. And they're 4 very interesting cards. First card we have right side up is the Seven of Cups. 7 is the number for alignment and achievement. So what I'm hearing about this card is that there is someone needing to take time to think about something extremely important. In a meditative way. This person is turned inward. His mind has become a globe of images and colors. And then the 2 cups behind them, there's some things blowing in the wind. And that's space. That's our connection with our higher power. So somebody's in deep contemplation about some issue. I'm not exactly sure what this issue is yet, but there's somebody thinking about something, needing to make a choice, and they have many choices in front of them. You know, cups is about water. And those are a lot of cups, hold a lot of water. And 7 is the alignment, achievement. Someone's thinking very deeply about these choices that they have and where they want to go with these choices. Let's look at another card. I'm going to get the other deck out so we can look more into this. So we have a thinker, somebody who's in deep contemplation. And it's a deep contemplation that is not uncomfortable. It's a deep contemplation that the person is settled in, situated, not moving, not breathing shallowly or deeply or not enough to see. But he just can't get he or she or they or them or all can't get a handle on the situation as these represent to me. They're not thinking about. I am not sure what happened right there, but it was messing up my groove. This person is thinking about all their options, but they're not thinking clearly enough. Maybe they're thinking about the destination and not the journey. They're not into the process of choosing. They're into the process of getting where they want to be. And because of that, clarity is eluding this individual. They cannot think clearly because their mind is not situated exactly on the things that will help them grow the most. You know, the universe gifts us when we allow them to gift us, when we're ready, when we're open, when we're real. You can meditate all day and night, but if you're meditating and reifying strongholds and poor thinking, I suck, this is never going to happen, or why can't I have it all? These are issues that will cut the energy off. You have to think with your heart and your mind, as this person is. They are on to something, but it is eluding them. Next we have the Ace of Pentacles upside down. 1 usually signifies beginnings and potential. So pentacles are of the earth, like we had in our shaman deck, right? So there's this individual thinking, and they're thinking about reaping rewards. All they're thinking about is reaping the rewards of whatever this is, whether this is a new job. I don't even think they care about what is going on, just as long as they can reap some reward. And it's upside down, so it's not going to go well for the individual. You know, when you're upside down, your money falls out your pocket. You ever get on a roller coaster or Ferris wheel, not a Ferris wheel, but some crazy ride where you go upside down. Next thing you know, anything in your pocket is out. And this person is losing a grip on the pentacle, which is also a disc or coin. They're losing their grasp on their resources. I want to know more about what this thinking is and why is it causing a problem. Ancient Egyptian tarot cards. This was the deck that I had all those problems with last time. Please give me something. Tell me about the choices. Tell me about it. Oops. One card fell out. Give me a second. I'm back. Oops. I just made a mess. Maybe the cats that eat the dirt. Drop on my aloe vera is bleeding. Oh, I can smell it. Makes me sad. Give me information on obstacles.
Unknown caller.
Excuse me, sorry about that. I'm just all over the place today. But I don't care, I'm getting this reading out. Tell me more about this thinking and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thought and this loss. I need to shuffle again. Call my spirit guides. Tell me more about this deep thinking, these choices, and this loss, and this loss, and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thinking and this loss. Tell me more about this deep thinking and this loss. You know what? Many times we don't have the right thoughts. I mean, I don't either. I don't have the right thoughts. Woo! Ooh. Okay, so we have more insight. I pulled the Two of Cups. This is right side up. Cups are water, right? And the two is duality, partnership. So this card is expressing that there is some sort of relationship going on here. It has a woman and a man, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be any gender and an organization. Any gender and a place. Any gender, the relationship could be with anything, right? Only you can put these pieces together as I read these cards, okay? So there's a relationship going on here, and it's very fertile. Their feet are in water. And they're drinking, and they look bountiful. So this card right off the bat tells me that there is some good in whatever is clouding this individual's thinking. Maybe they're not thinking about that great relationship they have. Maybe they're thinking about something else. Maybe they're ignoring the individual that they're with, or their job, or their school. Yes, it just seems so placid and peaceful. But is that person truly there? Are these people truly interacting with each other? Or are they interacting through composites of each other? Are they in the conformity stage, where they're looking at each other through eyes that conform? Maybe the thinking and deep thought is over a relationship. Maybe you don't know how this person thinks about you. Maybe you have other people that you can choose from. But perhaps this one is special to you. Perhaps. Perhaps that's the issue. Whatever is going on in this card, it is definitely going to bring some fertility into your life. Doesn't mean baby, it just means fruit, bearing fruit. The water, the bounty behind them is all about bearing fruit. The conversation, if they're listening to each other and not have their minds thinking about something else, people, places, and things that have no relevance to the conversation, but they definitely have the opportunity to have an extremely fertile relationship. Now, here I have a Two of Wands upside down. And when I see this, I see a person right side up. Can you see? Standing there, has got all these wonderful things going on behind them. Upside down. This is a person who is not happy with the things that he has. He's not satisfied. In this picture, it's a he. She, them, they, all. Which I love to say. This person is not satisfied. So, this person is thinking about 50 million hundred things. Causing that individual to lose some resource because they're caught up in this thinking process. And this thinking process is one that is going to impact this relationship. Whatever the relationship is, with whomever or whatever the relationship is, it's going to impact this relationship. But clearly I see that this individual is just not satisfied with any of him, their, they, all accomplishments. Just not satisfied. Beautiful relationship. Not satisfied. I had money in my pocket. I had resource. But I'm just not satisfied. So, maybe some of the bounty and fruit is drying up. This is what I'm thinking about. How dissatisfied I am with my life. All the opportunities I've had. And they seem to have flown away. But this person is not showing gratitude or thankfulness for what's in his life. He turns his back on it. He, she, or they turn their back on it. Someone's turning their back on some very serious resource, whether that be love, money, respect. They're turning their back on their accomplishments. They're turning their back on life. Because if they're not seeing what they're producing, that's life behind this man. And he's just not satisfied with it. And this person looks like he's well respected. He has it so deep. This is the Wand card, so of course it's fire. It's fire, marking a boundary between him and his, see? A little fire. Marking the boundary between him and the things in the background. As a matter of fact, he is so set on, I'm not satisfied with any of this, that he turned his back on something and is putting up a almost impenetrable barrier between him and his accomplishments and this dissatisfaction that he feels. What is that like, to turn away from your accomplishments and just not be satisfied? Is that about the rat race that we live in, More, 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 more. Or is it about something else? Why are you turning your back on your accomplishments and almost putting a stronghold between yourself and them so you cannot reach them or go back to them? Or you're choosing absolutely never to deal with these things again. Maybe you want to change your life, and maybe that stuff behind you was just old and you were tired of it. Yeah, maybe. But I think it's the latter. Based on our first reading about looking at the destination, not the journey, looking who you become. Also the idea of your thoughts, thinking about everything other than what you have, not connecting with individuals, not being a witness to your own life. And then we have the Ace of Wands that I wrote on a while ago, so please forgive me. This is when I was first trying to read tarot. Fire! You're a person of influence. Or you could be a person of influence. There's leadership capacity within you. And the ace always means beginnings and potentials. So you got the wand of fire here. And you have some influence. So while you're turning your back on those things that you need to hold dear, you are a person of influence. I don't know what type of influence. Maybe you're a speaker, maybe you're a caretaker, maybe people of influence can be of all walks of life. But this is a person of affluence. Of affluence. But that fire wand will knock anything out the way. But I don't even think that means anything that's individual. That he does have influence, or she does have influence, or they, them, and all have influence. Because here we have the Seven of Cups card, which is supposed to be a card of alignment and achievement, and it is upside down. So we talked about relationships, reaching out. I think this person wants to step out. On this person. Not satisfied. Doesn't care about whatever accomplished with that individual. Is using his influence to step out. I don't know if that's cheating or if that's something else. But I get the sense this is a gentleman who I'm reading for. And they're just all over the place. And the main thing that seems to me that's driving this individual at this point is their little friend. Thinking with the little head. That's why there's so much confusion. And these relationships are not even real. They won't even work out. They're not worth anything. Maybe a midlife crisis. Maybe scared of having somebody who's too good for you. This person is slipping away. slipping away. You got the Four of Swords in reverse. And if you're looking at it right up, you have a gentleman. I mean, I keep saying men, because I know this is a man I'm reading for. I just know, because they're all up here. All up here. All logic, sheer rationality. And conformity to what masculinity is supposed to be. But yet that conformity is causing this person a lot of problems. Mentally. And physically. Turning his back on people and things that he helped to build up and his accomplishments. This was upside down. Swords are of the air. And these are pointing downward. Nothing will work out for you while you are in this mindset. Is your destination women? Getting women? And yes, I'm speaking gender, so please forgive me, because I know there are so many more. Nothing is going to work out. These swords will be in your back as soon as you try to initiate whatever it is that you're contemplating initiating. That will spoil a lovely relationship. Now listen, gals, if this relates to you and you are the one who's doing the thing and thinking about other men, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. At all. And all the work that you put in thinking about what's greener on the other side, it's just going to be fraught with problems. So much so that you have the pentacles back, straight up, but you're alone. You started out alone, and you're going to end up alone if you keep playing these games. You're going to be riding off to the sunset, not in your Dodge race car. I can't think of a model. I mean, a make model, whatever. But on a horse with all your belongings with you. Whatever you're doing is going to cause you irreparable damage. Now listen, things can get better. They can get better because knights do come to the rescue. That could be male or female. They do come to the rescue. They come to help. But this knight does not look like he's gallop, gallop, gallop. Like he's going anywhere fast. He's like, damn. Shit. What in the world did I do? How did I get to this point in my life? And how do I get it back? My coin, my disc, my pentacles, my resource, people, things, places. They all could be resources. That he or she lost. By turning their back on the things that he should be feeling gratitude about. Or she. Now I'm saying she because I'm not too sure whether it's a he or a she. I felt like it was sure. But I don't want to stop anybody from having these cards applied. Listen, if you're in a good relationship, don't listen to me. If you're straight, don't make these cards, this interpretation, help you have a problem. Right? This reading is but advice. And as a prophet, I'm sending someone out there a message. Chill out. The only thing this could bring is heartache, disease, and headache. This is not the end-all be-all of existence. And these could be men, not the end-all be-all of existence. Don't use your wonderful influence for junk. You use this to help get you out of things, to bring you your power back. You grab onto this fire wand and you think about how these cards today have resonated with you and your behavior. We started out with the Shaman Oracle, who had us thinking that we're not thinking clearly about the journey. It's not the destination. It is the journey itself that we should be enjoying or learning from, gaining wisdom from. And it's who you're going to be when you get to the other side. And then we had the mystical shaman card, who's telling us to keep in mind of the things that we think. Because the things that we think can unroot us from the earth, where we're to be connecting through authentic relationships. Right? We should have wisdom from the fact that we're caught up in, you can't have wisdom if you're not thinking about these things and contemplating on them. But if you're thinking about, damn, I need to shed this idea of just thinking about the destination, or, I need to die to being mute to my own senses, ideas, and voices. I need to take this wisdom of not listening to myself, of not hearing myself, and of being results oriented. Learn this lesson and have this wisdom with me as I reinsert myself into this earth, feet on the ground, understanding the connectedness, and being a witness to your own story. You can't even be a witness if you're not observing what you're doing. And then we had the cards come out. What's happening? There's a person with a whole bunch of stuff on their mind out there. A whole bunch of stuff. As a matter of fact, it's so overwhelming, they're losing coin behind it. They're losing resource behind it. They're not seeing the wonderful relationship that they have. They're not appreciating the accomplishments that they have achieved, and seem to have, in a way, that burning wall wants to burn it away. Maybe this person is in the process of becoming something new. Maybe that's why the wand is so close to this individual. But then when I get to this card, the whole story comes together. It's not the journey, it's the destination. It's the women, it's the men, it's what you could get. And how to get it. And those relationships, those superficial relationships, are going to cause you irreparable damage. Because you don't need to do them. And when you do them, you're putting at risk your core sense of self. Bottom line is, though, you're going to wind up all alone if you don't get your act together and be satisfied with what you have. Still wanting to achieve more, but to be satisfied with what you have. I was going to get the Anubis cards, but I feel like pulling a shaman card. Is that all right? And as we finish reading, this is advice. Free will is everything. Well, the illusion of free will is everything. Once you realize free will is an illusion, then it becomes much more easier to understand free will. But anyway, I'm not going to get in my soapbox about these macro issues right now. This reading may have sounded sort of depressing, sort of sad. And I'm sorry for that. I read what I hear. I interpret the cards as I hear them. It's time to wake up. Let me pull the shaman deck and let's see what we get. Give me a second. Because the shaman deck started out so strong. But again, they just drive me crazy with how big they are and how hard they are to shuffle. See what I mean? Hard to shuffle. Give me a card that sums up this reading for this individual. Give them power. Give them empowerment. Give them something to ruminate on. Give the individuals a rumination of power and a perspective. I ask my ancestors to bless this shuffling, bless this deck, so that the messages can come loud and clear. I'm going to shuffle. You know, there's this one card in the back that keeps falling off. And I know I don't do flyaways, but this is the second time the card from the back has fallen off. And I don't know if it's the same card, but let's see what it is. Oh. You got the Wild Woman. Wild Man, number 62, harmony, cooperation, duality, partnerships. What did I say, 62? Here we go. Excess for its own sake is a sign of imbalance. This is a warning that you may be trapped in obsessive thinking or behavior, looking for release in places that will never provide it. Let go lest you become like the hungry ghost of Chinese Buddhist lore that can never be fulfilled, never be satisfied. True release comes from trusting the fluidity of life, the journey, understanding that just as a river needs its banks to flow through, so too do you need boundaries around your thinking and behavior. Now is the time to simplify, be mindful, and connect with that light within. This oracle card could not be more relevant to the reading. One more time. Excess for its own sake is a sign of imbalance. This is a warning that you're trapped in obsessive behavior, thinking. Looking for release in places that will never provide it. Trust that just like life, a river needs to flow. When you're in a river, are you constantly thinking about the journey? Unless you're sick of being on the river, you might. But you're looking at the banks, taking in the scenery, maybe getting a little suntan, drinking a couple beers. Just like a river, appreciate the fluidity of life. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is the reading for Tuesday, April 16th, 2019, the Universal Power reading. I thank you so much for joining me, and I'm so excited that I could be your tarot card reader for today. Please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate that. I'm not doing any private readings yet, since I'm still trying to get my YouTube channel off the ground. But I would love to hear from you if you email me. I would definitely respond. And make a comment on the bottom. And set up for notifications for when I put up my next videos. Okay? Namaste.